That word doesn't exist in the vocabulary of someone with a wealthy mindset. I never lose. Repeat with me. I never lose. I either win or I learn. That's the essence. Let me tell you another story. I had a friend who made a bad investment and lost $1 million. Yes, $1 million. When he told me, I asked, "What are you going to do now?" He replied, "I've already forgiven." I was surprised. "You forgave the person who caused you that loss?" "How?" He said something profound. "I'm not going to waste more energy on it. I'm prosperous, and what's done is done." That made me think, how many times do we carry grudges, resentment, or even anger over past mistakes? It's like being an elephant. Did you know that the elephant has one of the best memories in the animal kingdom? They remember everything. But prospering isn't about remembering everything. Prospering is about knowing how to forgive, letting go of what holds you back, and focusing on what's ahead. That's why my friend kept thriving. He didn't get stuck on the mistake. He learned, adjusted his course, and moved forward. And do you know what's most interesting? That attitude is what separates those who live in the past from those who build an extraordinary future. I've been through tough situations myself. When I was studying law, I was physically assaulted at work. I had 140 witnesses, and everyone said, "This is your chance to win $1 million settlement." But do you know what I decided to do? I chose not to file a lawsuit. Instead, I decided to win over the heart of the person who assaulted me. Everyone called me crazy. They said I had Stockholm Syndrome, but I followed my intuition. Because a wealthy mindset isn't tied to judgment, resentment, or revenge. It's focused on purpose. I chose to move forward because I knew I had something bigger to build. And you, will you stay stuck on what hurts you? Or will you use every mistake as fuel to grow? Now tell me honestly, with the mindset you had up until yesterday, if a company owed you $1 million in damages, would you take it or not? Of course you would. Most people would, and I don't blame them. But do you know what I did when I faced something similar? Instead of demanding the money, I won over the heart of the person involved. Let me explain something to you. The value of 1 million reais, no matter how impressive it sounds, is just a number. Do you know what 1 million reais really is? 2.5 sacks of beans. It sounds absurd, but that's what it physically represents. Grab 2 sacks of beans and imagine. Now I ask you, why do you let yourself get shaken by something that in practice is so small? What matters isn't the money itself, but the decisions you make about it. You need to learn to swallow some bitter pills and let certain situations go, because not everything is worth the emotional cost of carrying it. Many of you are stuck in limiting beliefs, trusting what teachers, parents, or other authority figures said without ever questioning it. Now I want you to think with me. Who are the programmers of your mind? Do you know who might be shaping your thinking without you realizing it? Parents, godparents, teachers, religious leaders, politicians, and even friends. But the big question is, do they have the results you want for your life? Do they possess the prosperity mindset you're looking for? If the answer is no, then it's time to reconsider who you're listening to. Want an example? Marcos Paulo, an incredible guy, one of the best at managing resources, but he carried a strong belief from his father. Something like, "God forbid I run a big business. It's too much trouble." And do you know what happened? That belief was holding him back. When we started working together, he resisted hiring more people. He'd say we could keep going, just the two of us, even though we were seeing enormous growth. It was a block he didn't even realize he had, but it stemmed from his past. After digging deep, we discovered the root, his father. And look, Marcos's father wasn't wrong for what he built. He created a solid foundation, lives off passive income, and travels with ease. But what worked for his father didn't work for Marcos, because Marcos was born to go further. He was born to break through the barriers his parents couldn't, and so were you. Repeat after me. I was born to go further and break through my parents' barriers. It's not dishonoring them, it's growing beyond them. And this, my friends, will bless your family, because a child who prospers brings joy. Your mom will proudly say at the bakery, "My child is so successful." But for that to happen, you need to understand something fundamental. Many of the beliefs you carry today weren't placed there out of malice. They're there because you inherited them from an environment, from people who only knew what they could at the time.